sitting the closest into the interviewer.
Yeah. So how's San Jose treating you?
So far, so good.
So good so far.
We got to say, this is Steve's first convention ever.
Don't sound so excited, you guys.
We can't hear you!
And we also got to get a shout out. The real stars of this panel are Chris's parents are in the audience.
Hey!
Give it up.
The Sullivans.
Sacktown.
I wanted to ask, my first question is it true that, Steve, you were like a fan of Chris's before?
I love a show called The Nick that Chris was on, Cinemax. Steven Soderbergh show, you should all check it out. Yeah, and I was talking to James Gunn, and he's like, oh man, I love that guy. Have you seen The Nick? Chris Sullivan, he's like, I just hired him to be Taserface.
And then we met on the Twitters.
Yeah. Great story.
Tell another one, you guys.
I also have a stamp collection.
You grow a super itchy beard.
I grew a really itchy beard for the movie.
I just assumed you were the reason he got the part of Taserface. That's just what I thought.
Quite the contrary.
I have an important question. Are all beards itchy? You've had a beard for a long time, right?
Yes.
Because it always itches when I grow a beard as well.
Well,
why does any man want to grow a
Aren't they
beard?
horrible, Sean?
Why does any man want to grow a long beard for
Why
a long
would you
time?
do it?
Guys, creams and oils. You have to moisturize the skin under the beard.
Oh.
Ladies, you know what I'm talking about.
I was telling Sabine one of my favorite things to do when we were on set during Guardians 2 was complain about my beard. Because that's really all I had for makeup was for 6 months before we shot, James called me 6 months in advance and said, just stop shaving. He's like, I just want your character to have a beard.
Which at first you were like, yes.
I was like, sweet, I hate shaving. And then when we'd be on set, I would just complain. To Chris especially, who had had like 2.5, 3 hours of makeup.
Yeah, how long was your makeup, Steve?
About half an hour. They put one scar on me and put dirt on my face, and that was it.
You'd be like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable. This beard is so itchy.
It's like, oh, guys, this is really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, really?
And meanwhile, you and Rooker and Karen are like in physical pain. Like they're actually in pain.
Yeah.
Because of their makeup and their eyes and stuff like that. They're like, oh, no, it's okay. Like the migraines haven't started yet, so I'm okay for another hour. And Steve's like, well, his beard's itchy.
He would sweat inside of his prosthetics, which were sealed off, and so it would just pool. Like his inside his skin was just filling up with
The only
sweat.
place that sweat could escape the makeup was in the corner of my eyes. And so salt water all day just directly funneled into my eyes.
It looked like Chris was always crying.
My beard itches.
I wish I had oils and creams. Is it true you had to like meditate when it started to get really bad?
There's a lot of photos of us sitting in the chairs like this. If I just don't move, I won't feel any of this.
Handled it really well, but there was like a couple times early on where you were clearly about to lose your mind.
Getting a little antsy, getting a little testy.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, that beard. Ugh.
Guys, we have some microphones here if you want to start lining up to ask some questions. I wanted to ask too, like you guys did the Hall H panel dressed up as well. What was that experience like at San Diego?
Crazy.
Yeah, we busted in on the official panel in character a couple years ago at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
As seen on YouTube.
Rooker and the Ravager, Yandu and the Ravagers,
Yeah.
all came in. But
It was a good time.
I remember Chris saying afterwards I said, oh, I could tell that you have such a strong theater background because you were like so good at taking the stage and modulating your voice and all these different theater things. And Chris is like, that's the biggest audience I've ever played in front of. It
was like
out there.
6,000
Yeah,
people.
it's
Yeah.
like 6,000, 7,000 people in that panel.
You don't play to that audience, you just keep going.
Yeah.
And Chris, is it cool to have like you sort of have your own action figure? It's not your face, but it is you.
Yeah, that is one of the highlights of this. The Funko Pop figure is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Well, Funko Pop.
Yeah, what's that
They'll
like?
get to you one day.
Funko Pop.
Tell us about your Funko. I'll tell you more about my beard.
They're these little bobbleheads, and you whack them, and the head goes.
I'm just enjoying watching you on this monitor.
Yeah.
My brother has his own Funko Pop of just himself.
Yeah.
Just a James Gunn Funko
Yeah,
Pop?
he does, which I'm a little steamed about because I wanted one first.
Technically, I mean, Rocket has a Funko Pop, and this guy plays Rocket on set. I can't hear you!
Could you really not hear that? So, sorry.
I have really bad hearing!
Let's get to some questions.
Oh, questions?
Robin.
I have a
boy
question
wonder.
for Sean Gunn. When you give Star-Lord a Zune player, does it play high resolution music or those horrible MP3s?
That's a deep.
Yeah, what are the tech specs on that Zoom, Sean?
That is almost a great question. I
Stereo
don't
or
know.
mono? What those?
I don't know what's
It's gotta be MP3s.
It's gotta be MP3s,
The
right?
Zooms
Isn't
are
that what
playing
the Zoom-
MP3s.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's some sort of newfangled Zune.
And it was only had, what, Goo Goo Dolls and Hootie and the Blowfish?
Oh, would it be
Yeah, you
better?
heard it here first. The entire Guardians 3 soundtrack is Goo Goo Dolls and Hootie and the
Yeah,
Blowfish.
it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Goo Goo Hootie.
Would it be better if you have given him a high resolution?
Oh, by the way, for a lot of internet morons out there, we're just kidding about that.
I'm not.
Just for the record. I'm sorry, what was that? What was the...
I mean, there's a music player that plays high definition music.
Yeah,
We'll have to do it in episode 3.
Okay, well
Thank you so much.
you should give him that with
Okay.
that music.
Do you work for Zoom?
Feel product placement coming on.
Take a question.
Thank you,
The
sir.
Zoom wonder.
Give a round of applause.
Party on Reavers.
Nice. Ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen, it's Garth Vader.
Darth Vader. Party on.
If you're not getting a good look, that costume deserves a standing ovation.
that's awesome.
Darth Vader? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
She's also with Bane Campbell somewhere. Oh yeah. Bane, stand up and turn around.
Ladies and gentlemen, party on, Bane.
Party on.
Darth.
Ask yourself, do you want to party on?
Yeah, so you guys just kind of like took the question I was going to ask, but if you guys had one song for Awesome Mix Volume 3, what would it be?
One song for the three of us?
For the third
You
film.
know,
For the
each
third.
of you guys for Awesome Mix Volume 3 tape.
What song would you
your
guys
be
put on the Awesome Mix?
I put on I'd Really Love to See You Tonight by England Dan and John Ford Coley.
Great, you took mine.
You know that song? You know this, and I'd really love to see you tonight.
Yeah, we're not stupid. We know that song. We're connoisseurs of music.
Yeah, that one. That's my choice.
I would pick I Am So Into You by the Atlanta Rhythm Section. I am so into you. Kids, that was a band that was popular in the 70s.
I know. Right now they're like, these are the oldest guys.
Yeah, then I guess if we're rounding it out, I have to go with Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes by Paul Simon.
Oh yeah, High Road Us.
You Can Call Me Al. You know what? You Can Call Me Al by Paul Simon is the song I can...
Everyone, if you see him at signings, just call him Al for the rest of the weekend. Hey Al.
Chevy Chase in that video. Isn't the time for that.
Next question.
Left side, strong side.
Hi, my name is Thomas, and this is a question for the whole cast. So, when you guys were on set, how much fun did you guys have? Like, what was like the chemistry between all of the actors, like the whole cast?
It was actually really tense.
Yeah.
A lot of rivalry.
Yeah.
A lot of beard scratching. I can't get any of this food into my mouth. I keep getting soup in my beard, Chris.
No, the set from my experience is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
James runs a pretty, I don't want to say it's fast and loose, but it's enjoyable. It feels like he's having fun. It feels like everyone's having fun. It feels like people are having more fun than they should be having on a $200 million film. It feels like we should all be focusing a little more.
Yeah, it's cool though. I mean, there's a lot of, like particularly in the Ravager scenes, first of all, it's a really cool group of guys. And a lot of them knew each other already.
Yeah, we all knew each other. I mean,
yeah.
Chris was the new guy in the group of
I was, so I got all the hazing,
Right.
all the wedgies,
All the towel snaps.
towel. Ow, taser face!
When we would take our group showers at the end of work, which of course the Ravagers did.
Guys!
Yeah. So what we're saying is it was fun.
Thank you,
It was a
sir.
good time.
Right side, strong side.
Hi.
Well,
Did you write your question down?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's great.
okay, last year we played a game called Two Truths, One Lie. Wait. Wait, Two Lies, One Truth.
Oh, two truths,
Two
one lie.
lies, one truth.
Two lies, one truth. Okay.
About anything coming up. Do you guys know anything about the Next Step movie? Because then you could,
Do you work for DC?
No. Yeah.
I don't know what you're trying to trick me into, but I'll do it.
Are you saying you want us to come up with two lies and one truth about what's...
About the next Guardians movie?
Well, I'm in the next Guardians movie.
You, Steve, at least try.
That's one.
I feel like I know pretty much the whole story of the next Guardians movie.
Is that true? Oh.
Say.
Am I in the next?
Am I in it? This is the most dangerous game, and I don't think we can play it.
We could get sued.
Thank you so much for...
Ask another question.
There's- Go for it.
If you weren't doing this right now, what do you think you would be doing?
If what?
If you weren't doing this right now, what do you think you would be doing?
Eating roast beef.
Let's go, Greg.
Okay.
Do you have an answer for that, Steve? What would you be doing if you weren't?
At this panel, or if I wasn't acting or doing
Yeah,
comedy?
which do you mean? If we weren't
Don't
acting, or
overthink it. Just answer the question.
if you weren't acting,
I'd
what
be
would
a
you doing?
ranger. I'd be a park ranger, probably. That I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I believe you.
Yeah, sure.
What does that mean?
I mean, that's a park ranger shirt.
No, it's not. Your jacket is more of a park ranger shirt than this. This is a lumberjack shirt.
Wait,
Maybe I'd be a lumberjack.
we're just a couple of park rangers.
Yeah.
I think I'd be a chef, maybe.
Yeah?
A very, very sad chef who is disappointed that his acting career failed.
Making me some roast beef.
Okay, so I'm gonna break the rules like 50%, but not all the way, so it's okay. It's a question for Chris. In Guardians of the Galaxy, you play Taserface, which is kind of like this angry, violent character, and then on This Is Us, you play this like lovable teddy bear character. Which do you prefer to play?
Which one pays the most, Chris? money.
Because they're not injecting sweat into my eyeballs every day.
Is your character still alive on This Is Us?
Yes.
Okay. That means I can't
Easy
watch it
question.
yet.
He only
I only watch Chris in things that he gets killed in. So I have to
Stranger-
wait to watch
Stranger
This Is Us.
Things.
I keep hoping one of these days I'm going to get word that I can start watching it, but.
We got to start a campaign to kill Toby on This Is Us. I'm going to spearhead it. I'm starting a Kickstarter.
You're going to raise money for it.
I'm going to raise money to kill Toby.
I was wondering what your favorite action movie was.
Favorite action movie? What was that?
Guardians.
Favorite action movie?
That is a good
In
question.
recent history, Fury Road.
I'm just going to say that.
That's a
In
really
recent-
good action
In the last like 10 years, maybe?
Yeah.
Fury Road. I agree. I agree.
I've never seen an action movie, so I can't answer that question.
Maybe Power Rangers?
Oh, is that an action? Power Rangers.
First Die Hard's pretty great.
Oh yeah, I'll say that one.
Ho, ho, ho.
Potter,
Mr. McClane.
yippee-ki-yay.
Alright, this one is for Sean. Do
Sean.
you have Yondu's fin?
Do I have Yandu's fin?
Yes.
I think the idea, I've been getting questions about whether or not how Kraglin could be wearing a fin if Yondu gets burned up at the end of the movie. But I think the idea is that there were multiple prototypes of that fin, since we saw Yondu wear a couple of different versions of it. And the version that Kraglin's wearing is actually a little bit different in size than either of those. So I think it's just the idea is that is where, that part of the technology can be reproduced, I guess.
Okay, second part is, hypothetically, if you actually had it, could I have it?
I would gladly give it to you if Marvel's assassins wouldn't immediately hit me in the neck with a poison blow dart.
You almost had a
You don't
close
get
call
to
with
keep-
one of them already
I
today.
know.
You don't get
I
to
know.
keep anything. I tried to steal Jeff's goggles at the end of. Actually, we did the shoot and then we had to hang on to the stuff because we did the panel at Comic-Con, so they had to hold on to everything. When we did the panel at Comic-Con in character after it was over, I took those goggles and I put them in my backpack. And about half an hour later, one of the PAs or somebody came up to me, sweating and shaking, going, "Have you seen the goggles? Have you seen the..." Like, they were scared they were going to lose their job, and I was like, yeah. I just wanted a souvenir. You can't keep anything.
I got to keep my makeup. Oh, I'm not kidding. The makeup department, an incredible gift, took one of my prosthetics, an incredibly horrifying gift, and pinned it out on a mat like a butterfly, and framed it. And I don't know what to do with it, so it's at my parents' house under their bed.
And they are just now finding out about that.
And
And our house suddenly haunted.
And it's because the taser face is pinned to a mat board underneath their bed.
That's
I
horrifying.
don't know where to hang it. It's such a lovely gesture, but I don't know where to hang it. It's
pretty
large.
large,
Yeah,
right?
it's the most horrifying butterfly you've ever seen.
Above your mantle, maybe? I don't know, it's just a suggestion.
You all right?
Thank you. So we're loving just kind of seeing you three interact and have a ball. It's really bringing, that fun, loving atmosphere into the room here. Was there a lot of this on set? And if so, were there any improvisations that kind of made their way into the movie?
We just had days full of shenanigans.
I don't think you would see any of it in the movie. I mean, I think most of the stuff in the movie was scripted. We did
Your
get
name.
Yeah, Jeff was not, in the script I am Dumb Ravager. And You kept calling me Jeff.
Well, because a lot of the Ravagers were like dumb Ravager, tall Ravager. And we're like, well, we can't have that. These people need names. And so I thought it would be hysterical if you had Kraglin, Tom, Brawl, Taserface, and Jeff.
He's the one who came up with the name Jeff.
Yeah, and so we were dying to get it in the credits, which I think it made it in the credits, didn't it?
Yeah.
Credited as Jeff the Ravager, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think James chose the spelling.
He did.
Yeah, because he didn't want it. He didn't want it to be too much someone else's idea. It's between us, right?
Just between it's just us thousand.
My idea, Jeff.
We would mess around a lot, but most of that stuff didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah, no, there's not a whole lot of improvisational stuff in the movie. And usually when we improv scenes, it's only going to be like a tag or something, or maybe a variation of one line that's already a joke. You may do a couple of different choices on it, but we don't do tons of improvising on Guardians.
When someone is spending $200 million on a movie,
they get
to say the words, what words we say.
Some of it's in the deleted scenes, or in the out. There's a bunch of stuff in the outtake of my character hitting on one of those yellow prostitute robots. That was all improvised, and then you see it and you're like, I see why they cut that out of the movie.
Yeah.
Not crucial.
These guys did tons of hilarious stuff on set and on camera, and like, we could have had a whole other comedy of just the Ravagers kind of dicking around on set, but
that should be a spin-off, right?
Yeah. But yeah, most of it ends up not, there's only so much of that.
It doesn't forward the story or anything.
Yeah, right.
First off, I want to say, Sean, welcome back. Good to have you again for the second year in a row.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
I can hear you.
Stop pandering that check.
Sorry.
And I want to reintroduce a question I asked you last year, and I want to extend it to you guys too. If your guys' characters from Guardians of the Galaxy were part of the Star Wars universe, what factions would you guys side with between the Rebellion, the Empire, and Jabba the Hutt's bounty hunters?
Definitely Jabba.
Yeah, Jabba for sure. Jabba
I don't
for sure.
even know if I would have a faction. I'd probably be in.
You should be drunk at that bar.
Yeah. I'd be in Mos Eisley in that cantina, just.
You should be that clarinet player.
Yeah. Sure.
So we only have time for a couple more questions.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So for Sean, do you know what the story behind the Guardians Inferno music video was? And then for the rest, do you have any holiday traditions since we're coming up on the holidays?
Any holiday, what was it?
Holiday traditions.
Oh, holiday traditions.
I thought you said predictions.
Those two.
Guardians Inferno, I don't know what you mean by what the story was, but it was a really cool video that we did to promote the release of the movie on DVD and on Blu-ray. It was a blast to shoot.
Our friend Dave Yarovesky directed it,
yeah.
And he's done a lot of music videos. But I think the story is just that it's a promotional.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, that's a song that plays over the end credits of the movie that was, that was just written for the film, and so we just decided to make a little video of it in the tradition of the Star Wars video that came out in the late 70s. It's a similar absurd Star Wars video where the dancers aren't really Star Wars related, like in Inferno. And fortunately, everybody kind of wanted to jump in and do it. So we just kind of threw it together, and Simon Hatt, our fine producer, produced it, and it was a blast. We shot it in a day.
It was a great time. It was probably more fun than shooting the movie.
I wasn't there.
Neither was I.
Yeah, they're right. They're right. It was more fun than shooting the movie. Because
we weren't there.
You can put it together. Yeah.
I wanted to first of all say thank you to all of you for just all that you do and bringing smiles to everybody's faces. As being someone who's disabled, that's one way that I can interact with my friends still, is that we can enjoy a movie together, or watching Kirk 50 billion times, you know, or watching Toby not die. But,
Fine, I won't start that campaign. You saved Toby, congratulations. Because I guarantee you I could have made it happen.
Single-handedly. Now, I get 50% of your Toby cut now, right? But my question actually is for Chris, especially with the phenomenon of Guardians 1, coming into the Guardians, the second one, and not being the nicest character, and knowing that you were kind of going to be hated, which, really good job, I hated you so much. As Taserface, let's clarify. Because you just did a really good job at being a jerk. But how did you get yourself in that mindset, and that mindset, like, when you're going to things that people are just going to be like, oh, he's a villain, I don't like him.
You know, just being myself. I'm just like, I just gotta work, just do me.
That was some of the greatest stuff, was seeing Chris talk like that in his taser face. Every day. What was it you were always...
Looking tough, feeling tough.
Just talking in the least tough tone. So funny.
It was, to get into that mode, it was volume and gravel. And trying to be as dead serious as I could be.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we only have time for one more question.
We could do a speed round.
All right, real quick.
Yeah, speed round.
Hi guys, thank you for coming here. I have a question. Which Marvel character would you guys like to team up with?
The Hulk.
I've been teaming up with a lot of them on the Infinity War movies.
Yeah.
You'll have to see some of that.
I was about when you were, and I knew I probably wouldn't get away with it.
I would... David Bowie. Is that a Marvel character?
That works.
Yeah, thank you so much. Real quick.
Popeye.
Popeye.
How often, if at all, do you have to reshoot a scene because someone yawned or coughed or sneezed?
Never. We are focused at all times. We know all of our lines. Everything you see in the movie is the first take.
Next. Except Rooker, who fell asleep.
Except Rooker, who's completely CGI.
So I was just wondering, what's your favorite part of being an actor, for like all of you?
Serious question?
Free food?
Serious answer or a funny answer? Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, I've always loved acting, and I love the idea that I have to try to understand the way other people think and behave. It brings me closer to other people. It helps me have compassion for everyone that I meet.
I will go with that same answer. That is pretty close to what I...
I'm still going to go with food.
All right, 30 seconds left. Last question.
You want to come up here? Come up here. That is a great outfit. You look fantastic. Give it up for her, everybody. Come up here. Yeah, come and ask a question up here.
You need to be on stage. You're dressed too great for everyone not to see this.
What is your name?
Ariana.
Her name's Ariana.
Okay. And what is your question?
My question is, were you playing in Stranger Things?
I was. I played Benny Hammond in Stranger Things.
What?
Benny the Burger Guy. Looking tough, feeling tough.
And I can watch that one, right?
You can watch that one. Thank you so much for coming
give it
to
up
our
for
panel.
Ariana. And then give it up for the rabbit. There's one more time.
Watch your step that we're doing there.
I can't hear